Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is week 27 of Meat Sweats and Menopause. I'm Joe Gleason, and with me is my beautiful host and partner, Kirsty the Brit Chick. Welcome to week 20. How are you?
I am good. I'm very, very hot. How are you doing? I'm sweating it.
Well, a little better probably than you. It's warmer outside than you have it, but cooler inside. So so far so good.
Yeah, it's mega hot out here right now, and there's no air. I always complain about this. There's no AC in sight. It's just sweaty. It's hot. So if you see me dabbing my face, it's because I'm in a sweat box right now.
Yeah,
I think I'd lost pounds by that, but no such luck. How are you doing anyway?
Good. Just been working on AI integrations with my database and my CRM database, and then my Google Drive. So like kind of nerding out today, and then doing some admin. So this is good to get a little creative sidestep from all the nerdy stuff. So yeah, let's go be goofballs tonight.
Right. I know. I've been nerding out too. I've been just literally sitting in my room on my computer all day long. It's the first time I've really talked to anybody. So you're blessed with my presence.
That's not true. I know you went out and got a Rubarita.
I didn't go out and get one. It was made for me and given to me.
The secret is tahini, right? So.
This is the best thing. If you haven't, well, I'm sure you all have because Mexico, but honestly, you know how I normally I love your Joe readers, you know I do, but I'm going through all sorts of stomach issues right now, and they give me heartburn really badly because It's so sweet and tart and salty. Anyway, what Ruby did was took your recipe, added in blended fresh fruit, and did the rim with tahini, and oh my god, this is insane. I haven't had any heartburn. It is absolutely delicious, and there's none of the tartness. So tahini on a margarita is just fantastic. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, it's you don't have to sell me. I love tahini. Hey, that's a motto. You don't have to sell me. So and thanks, Robert. You're the one that introduced me to tahini. So yeah, and you're getting lots of compliments on the new Black Widow red hair look. Robert and Dan have both commented. So. There you go. See, I said yesterday when you sent me the pics, I'm like, I like it. And you were like, all like, kind of freaking out.
I felt like Ronald McDonald. I was like, what the fuck? It was supposed to be like a pink kind of translucent, and it's very pigmented. I was like, holy shit! I wasn't ready for this. I feel like that woman, who's that woman from that show? It's, you know what, I think if this color was on a young person, it would look really cool, like when you have like someone who's young who has gray hair, they do the gray and it looks cool. I feel like I'm a cougar trying too hard. That's what it feels like.
You have been in Canada for a few weeks now, so I don't know what's going on up there.
It just needs to be a bit lighter, I feel, but it'll wash out, it'll fade. It's cool. It's just a shift, I forget. I get up in the morning, I go to the washroom, look in the mirror, and I sort of jump. It's like if you shaved your beard off or something, you'd just be like, whoa, I forgot I did that.
Next week on Meat Sweats and Menopause, shaving Joe.
No, don't ever do that again.
Yeah,
isn't that funny? Weird. When I first met you, you were so super clean shaven, and I was like, I don't mind. I like stubble. I do love stubble. I've always said that to you, like the whole 6 o'clock shadow thing. But when you were talking about growing a beard, I was like, and then you did, right, in COVID, because I didn't see you for a few months because we were stuck. And you grew a beard, and I was absolutely horrified because I had a phobia about beards because only my dad ever had a beard, and it reminded me of my dad, so it was weird. But now you have one. I can't. You shaved it off when we dressed up as the Matrix for Halloween.
Yeah, yeah, that was like 3 years ago. We were Neo and Trinity, and I shaved it all off. You're like, how fast can you grow that back?
Yeah. It's so weird. I don't recognize you. Like when I see pictures of you now versus when we first met, you literally look like a baby seal. It was funny. I didn't think that. You just look like a totally different person. I way prefer this right now. I think it's
very good. I aim to please. So here we are. Yeah. So how's everyone else doing? What's the latest? What's the latest in everyone else's? I know Robert had his daughter and son-in-law and grandson in town, so they
they still here?
Thanks, Dan. Dan prefers to see
Less of Joe's
less
face.
of Joe's. Yeah.
No, you don't.
So
I
hey,
love it.
there we go. No baby seals for all people. I think with one thing we can all agree on, right? So
We've got the silver fox coming in now. It's like,
yeah, I'm getting like. So I just went back to my class reunion, and my brother doesn't have as much gray as me, and one of my buddies was like blunt and was like, why are you so much more gray than your brother? And Dad's like, well, I didn't go through a divorce, so like I guess that's what I'm going to hang my hat on. It's just different life path, right? So yeah. So I guess everyone just is is different. So it's clean living. I need to get a sponsorship from Victoria Beer. So these are like the bottles we get in Mexico, Robert. The big 1 quart size. They got them at Winco.
Of course, it's just full of water. You're allowed to drink on here.
I mean, I'm over 21. I'm not doing anything illegal. So
I know. It's so stupid,
I'm not driving. I'm not driving. Yeah. So
today.
In this country.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, at least we're not hammered like we were like in week 7 or whatever that was. That was a rough one.
That was terrible. For me, anyway. I was wasted. It
was interesting. Yeah. So, yeah, we were, I started to say that Robert had his daughter and son-in-law and grandson in town. They went out and rented a boat on Lake Pleasant. I think it was Lake Pleasant, and it looked pretty cool. So it's been a while. I just came up, Robert. It's been 3 years since I was last on the boat you had, so it's been a while. We'll have to look into that. That looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I did, and I told him on his post. I was like, I love the soundtrack too. He had "Summertime" playing with what's his face, Will Smith, wasn't it?
Oh, cool. Yeah, I didn't hear this. I didn't hear the soundtrack.
Every time I hear that, it just takes me back. It's like, oh yeah, it's such a great song. So good soundtrack. That's Van Halen 5150. That album does that for me. Like that's just a summertime album for me, and it's like, oh yeah,
it's I'm more associated with summer break when I was in school, and a whole different vibe than as an adult, right? So, which probably segues into the topic that we wanted to talk about. Which one of the we were kind of pre-gaming here and saying what should we talk about tonight? We talked about the idea of ignorance is bliss, right? Like what you like, and then when you cross over and you find out, like when you're maybe, and that applies to a lot of things, not just, but that sort of ignorance is bliss about your childhood summer songs, and like when life is just less stressful or less demanding or whatever, and you're like. And then you're like, oh, it'd be great when I'm grown up. And then you get, you get older and you're like, damn, I miss the simplicity of youth, even if I didn't have all the freedom that I will later in life. So yeah, what do you think when we talk about that?
Ignorance is bliss. I mean, so many, and I would love everyone's comments on this because it's such an interesting conversation. The reason it's actually Thomas, so my daughter's boyfriend, that said, hey, you should talk about this, and then we got into it. He was just telling me about like this would be a great topic, and then we couldn't stop talking about it all night because we were coming up with all these things. I was like, oh, brilliant, great topic. But it kind of started, I think he was talking about just the state of today, and whether you are awake to what is happening around you or whether you're not. Or whether you are, it depends. It's all about your belief systems, really, isn't it? Like if you were raised in your house by the people that raised you, whoever that was, and you never took a step outside of your house and that was all you ever knew, then you would never think that anything was weird until you get out and find out that, hang on a minute, other families don't do this or other people don't do this. So you could take a really morbid, macabre thing, if you're living in an abusive house or maybe you live in a cult and you don't know, ignorance is bliss because you just think it's all normal until you get out and realize, holy crap, like this is weird. And then
it's like quickly. I thought we were going to talk about like summer.
Well, no, but it is. It's like, is this weird? If this is all you know and this is what's normal where you live, like, does that make it normal? That's my point. And then,
what is normal, right?
Well, totally. And then you take it to other beliefs like religion, politics, education, like all the systems, all the typical indoctrination systems and the the control systems. Or you could even look at it, like, do you want to know certain things about your partner? Ignorance is bliss in terms of, I mean, it could be anything from finding out that your girlfriend farts and you never knew that they did because you never experienced it. We were just talking about that a minute ago. Ignorance is bliss. And then when you find out she does, it's like, oh my God, that's horrific, or whether you're watching a baby being born. Did you actually really need to see it being born, or was it just the idea of it? Or,
These are the ideas you came up with, huh?
Yes. So someone's having an affair. Like, do you wish you just didn't know because now your life's awkward because now you've got friend groups that it's all messed up with? Or maybe it's your partner that's having an affair and you found out and now you wish you didn't know, there's a million things, right? There's so many things. Is it happier to be blissfully ignorant, or do you prefer to know and then you've got to manage all of those feelings that come up, right? How do you got to manage that and not let it affect you and just recognize that you're observing?
What I was thinking of with this was like, hot dogs tasted great until I found out what they're made of and how they're made, and then now I don't like hot dogs. So that's my idea of like ignorance is bliss. You've gone a completely different rabbit hole.
This is everything, isn't it? It's like at school. Like, a really funny thing is, I saw recently was, like before social media came along, you would think that your teachers at school, like, they would have a persona at school, like Mr. or Mrs. whoever, and you took them as being, an authority on education. They thought they were smart and intelligent and good people. But now there's social media, and so there's these like news stories. Kids discovering that their teachers are like porn stars, or they're into swinging, or they're on date sites with their dick hanging out and shit like that. It's just like, oh my God, like, they don't care anymore, so.
Yeah, I remember when I was in fourth grade, not my fourth grade teacher, but one of the three, I went to a small town school.
Mm-hmm.
So there were only 3 classes in our grade, and one of the other teachers, I saw her out at a local restaurant and she was smoking. And I just thought it was like, no way, Mrs. whatever her name was smoking. So like, again, like where my mind goes with this isn't like being porn stars and like being my teacher's on OnlyFans. This is great,
But didn't you ever have teachers that were dating and then they had to announce that they were like getting engaged or something, or getting married? Like, did you ever have that?
We had a little scandal in our elementary school. I think I might have been in high school when it happened. The kindergarten teacher and the principal had inappropriate relations while they were both married to other people. So I think that's public knowledge. So but imagine in a town of 2,000 people, like the wildfire, like, did you hear? Right? Like, it was pretty scandalous.
Oh, man.
Which I couldn't have taken. I couldn't have been happier because that principal, everyone was like scared to death, because he had a paddle that had nails pounded into it. That if you ever went down there, that you got spanked with a nail. That's what the rumor was, but it never happened for me. So,
right.
Anyway, I digress. Yeah. Robert wants to know, but the problem is retaining what I want to know these days. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The hard drive is getting full.
Well, but once you know, like, now what do you do with that? And I think that's where a lot of people don't think about the responsibility of knowing. It's like if you were at somebody's house and alone and you saw they had a diary open with, would you read it? Or, if there was something that, like, are you the kind of person that would do that? Or I remember there was on a show and they had it all set up with video cameras in people's houses, and to see whether people would open the medicine cabinet when they went to use the washroom. And so when people would open it, it would be like, smile, you're on camera. And they're like, fuck. I always think of stuff like that.
Well,
there's cameras everywhere now.
What if you need an aspirin or something? Might not be a bad thing, right?
Mm-hmm. But some people didn't notice, and they were going through shit and taking things. And
yeah, right. That's why nobody's allowed in my bathroom.
Yeah. But again, to Robert's point, it's just once you know, now you got to live with that, right? And so I think that's the thing. If somebody's come to you, a friend's come to you and told you they've killed someone, well, now you're an accessory. So
let's grab a shovel. Let's get to work.
Right. I mean, that's just the thing, isn't it? Like, what do you do? So it's.
I think really, like the worst position would probably be like with that kind of thing is if you've got a good friend that you somehow find out that, and this, by the way, for those of you that are on here, I know nothing of this. This is just totally hypothetical. But like if one of your best friends or your brother or sister or somebody really close to you, you find out that their partner or spouse is having an affair, and you like, I don't know if you see them like out at a bar or something, or you find this out, then you're like, you've got this like conflict, right? Like, do you go ruin their life and tell them, or do you just let play stupid about it? Like, sometimes it can get, it's not just innocent, right? It could be
ruin their life and not tell them. I mean, it's how you look at it, right? Muskrat.
No. Yeah, again, nobody watching. I am not aware of any shenanigans or I know nothing. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go with the eraser and start shaving. Change the subject. No, but for real, like you could be put in a really tough situation, right? Or like what we were talking about with that video that we watched yesterday with Chase Hughes, where they were talking about, well, here's how they like influencers on social media. They'll have people that will come in. What? Right. I know nothing and not even that. But like, well, they'll come in and be like, hey, here's some uncompromising photos of you. You just say what we want to say. And this is on both sides. Like it's left influencers, it's right influencers. You say what we want to say. Otherwise, I really would hate for this stuff to get revealed, and I can protect you as long as you just go with the flow. And and we'll pay you 20 grand for your effort too every month. And so, like, do you do these things? It's like these, like, then you could be in these situations where you're like, this isn't just like the genie's out of the bottle and I wish I didn't know this. So ignorance is bliss. Like I just, hey, you get 20 grand a month, but now you're sort of selling your soul, but you're covering your ass too. So,
well, that's the thing. And I think that's, I mean, that's why you have to have a conscience, because if everything you do, you are aware and you're choosing to do it, then you can't be blackmailed. Because it's like, I mean, sure, I'm sure we've all said things about people or done things that we think are embarrassing that no one should know about. I mean, everybody's got something, but it's not big enough that I would be like, oh, really? Yeah, just reveal it then. I literally don't care. Like, there's nothing I'm concerned about, And it's like, and that's the thing, that's the fear. Because I mean, some people might think, oh, I pick my nose when I'm on my own, and they might think that's the biggest. I remember thinking this like when I was a kid growing up. This is quite the revelation, actually. I don't know, I probably shouldn't even share this. But the example of when you're a kid and you're innocent and you discover something that has never been publicly talked about because it's maybe adult stuff that you're not aware of, and you discover it and you're like, oh my God, and you've got no one to talk to, and you're just kind of like, it feels like it's a your dirty little secret or something, whether it's that you pick your nose or you fart or you discovered porn or whatever it is. And it's like, until you go out there and realize that people talk about this shit all the time and it's normal, it's part of being human, you might think that that's life-threatening, right? And someone could blackmail you with that. So it's like when you probably all had like junk mail saying, I've hacked into your email and I've seen you watching porn or whatever, and I've been recording you, and I'm going to send this to all of your contacts and your family and friends unless you send me like 10,000 Bitcoin or something. I'm just like, yeah, go ahead. Because like I know what I've done and what I haven't done, so it doesn't bother me. But I think when you live a life where maybe you're sheltered or where you're quite young and naive and you don't realize that whatever it is that you do or think about isn't freaky and weird or whatever, then you can be controlled that way.
You can what that way?
be
controlled. Yeah.
controlled, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, I'm a private person for the most part, like on some stuff, and so like I just don't like I'm an open book with my friends and people I'm around, but I just don't put a lot on social media. But for I think that's where, but part of it's like, with the kind of the way kids are now, younger people are like so quick to like just put their whole life out there, and then it's like, I don't know, like I don't think that's important. That's not important to me to get that like gratification. Like, oh, I need to have people tell me how funny I am or how beautiful I am or, you know, what, or whatever. But speaking about like posting something that's kind of embarrassing that we've all, you know, said stuff like the accidental text or whatever, you might like, oh, I didn't mean to send it to that person or whatever. It was actually like a week or two ago, maybe a week ago. You know, I'm a big Cub fan. And there was one of the Cub beat writers, the guy that follows the team around, and he sent out a tweet that I think he thought was a direct message to one of the coaches on the Cubs. And he was calling out the like general managers, like president of baseball operations and the general manager about not doing enough at the trade deadline last year, but you guys as coaches are doing a great job at Tweedledee and Tweedledum, but he actually called them Twinkledee and Twinkledum. So now there's this whole brush fire like joke meme stuff going around in the Cub fan world. But yeah, this guy's like a guy who's around the team all the time, like that needs access to be able to like interview players and like kind of hear the latest on what's going on. And he sends out like this message. So yeah, I mean, and he's an older dude, like he's probably in his 60s or 70s. So
well, yeah, that's just it though. To your point, like it's the old people that there's a whole bunch of memes like I've seen on Facebook where you got some like old person. What's old, but I don't know, 70.
Yeah, they're not that much older than us, babe.
I know, but where some older person has thought that Facebook was like Google and a search bar or something, and they've typed in like what they're searching for, but they've actually posted it on their profile.
Remember that you showed me that video where there was like the old guy that they were going to use his laptop to like show like family pictures or something, and they open up his browser and it's like porn all over the place, and like the grandkids were running around because they had it up on this projector that was going on the wall, and they were going to look at like some family slideshow or something, and the old bastards got like porn everywhere, and the daughters were like, "Dad, oh my god!" And he just sat there. He was like, "I don't give a shit."
Well, it's like,
that one was good.
It's a meme. I sent it to you, and it was I don't know. How open are we on here? Can we say anything? It was really bad. He was obviously looking for porn in the search bar, so it was like a really illicit description of what he wanted to see, and typed it in his search bar thinking it was Google or whatever, looking for it, and it was his Facebook profile.
Yeah.
He just posted it. Someone's like, "This is not Google." He's like, "Shit, how do I get this off here?" And this whole conversation's coming up on the whole of Facebook. It was freaking killer. It was so funny.
Grandpa's got some kinks. Yeah. When you're talking, I do it, and when I'm talking, you do it. That's what we agreed.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Grandpa's got some kinks. Yep, for sure. But but back to that Chase Hughes interview, which I love his stuff. I've been a big fan of his for a while.
Wasn't that brilliant podcast?
Yeah, and it's like you can, and I like what Dan's thought on that is that you can have a conscience, but also cognitive dissonance. And I think probably we all have a hole in our swing somewhere on this kind of thing, right? So, but his whole point in that podcast was basically like, it's easy for someone who really leans one way or the other, especially politically or maybe religious wise or whatever it might be, to look at someone and be like, oh, that idiot over there on that side or that moron over there on that side. But then think like, I wouldn't do that, or my team's better than your team and all that. But I loved what he said, because you and I talk about this all the time. And that's that we've got more in common with the person who you don't agree with, like whether it's the MAGA hat wearing person or the blue haired person or whatever ideology, like you've got more in common with that person that you're bumping into on the street or at the restaurant or at the store then you deal with the people who are like the puppeteers that are like just controlling people like marionettes, and so it's just an interesting to think about.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with religion. I mean, ultimately with religion, everybody wants the same thing. They want unconditional love. They want to know that, there is a heaven or whatever, and they want to know that, treat people with respect, and pretty much the 10 Commandments, if you want to look at Christianity. Everyone's got their own version of that, but all the religions are busy fighting over which God is the God and which book is the book. And they're so busy fighting, but ultimately everybody just wants peace. So like, it's just such a stupid thing, to just, which is where I sit. I mean, I'm not any religion. I'm not an atheist. Like, I do believe I'm probably spiritual more than anything. But I mean, I just, in every religion, that, I've got friends in all sorts, like Buddhists, Jews, Christians, what are they called? The ones in Utah. Who are they?
Mormons.
Who are those? Mormons, that's it. Yeah, thank you. Hindu. I mean, I know. So I've got friends in so many different cultures and religions, and I'm not of any denomination, and I'm always welcome in each of their houses. And the one thing that they always share with me is that, the reason we like you is because you don't judge. Even though you're not of our religion, you don't judge us for whatever we believe. And there's so much judgment within the religion that we're in. Everybody is so busy telling everybody else what they should and shouldn't be doing and judging them. And then I come along and I'm not judgmental at all because I'm not living by any of their rules. So I find that really fascinating when ultimately I'm like, because it's stupid, because in one religion it's like, well, if you do this you're going to hell, but in another religion that's not a hell worthy thing, something else is. And it's like, well, everyone can't be going to hell then, because or heaven or whatever. It just depends on what you believe. I'm going to hell because I'm not Christian, or I'm going to hell because I'm not a Jew, and it's just like, I don't think I'm going to hell at all. I think hell and heaven are on earth, and it's what we create. So you could be the most religious, but you could be the Pope, right? But Muslims are going to condemn you and say that you're going to hell. And, you could, that's the stupid thing, because there's all these rules based on it, and it just depends where you're sitting. And it's exactly the same with politics. So anyway, that's my little rant.
Yeah. And then you start looking at the division within the religion itself. I mean, how many different denominations of Christianity are there? Like Catholicism, and then all of the Protestant branches. There's dozens and dozens of them. And they argue over things like baptism has to be full body immersion, or it's little sprinkles of water on top of the head. And like, God gives a fuck about like how wet your head is. Like, you know what I mean? Like and this is my opinion.
Whether you're praying at home or in a church or wherever too, it's like,
yeah. No, I think some of that stuff that's where some of dogma and religion loses me. It doesn't mean that I'm not spiritual and I don't believe in God. It's just more the dogmatic, like the judgment, like people wave their finger at you, like, you weren't here last Sunday, you're going to hell, like, really? Meanwhile, you're diddling the neighbor and you were here last week, the little neighbor kid.
Right.
So it's just a lot of hypocrisy in religion. So did you see? All right. So we have to, the whole thing has to be done here. So Dan's right. The whole psyop is to keep everyone fighting each other, and that tribalism and that, and that division, right? And so that you're right. It's you keep everyone fighting laterally and not top versus bottom. So Robert just asking for a friend, literally. Are you a bottom?
Dan knows, apparently. Don't know how.
Dan knows. Yeah. he's not suggesting. This is a statement of fact. I just seen if he's paying attention. So yeah. I think when we the people can start outsmarting and waking up to so that might be one of the things that ignorance is bliss, but on the other side, where like you start realizing that the traditional media that like our parents and grandparents just believed every word that came out of their mouth, Dan Rather or Walter Cronkite, which are American newscasters. I don't know if you know who they are, but these are the guys that every night at 6:00 America would tune in and hear the news. And so the older generations were very trusting of all that information. It's our generation, and especially the younger generations, are like, wait, that sounds like bullshit, this doesn't sound right. wait, why is this side saying it this way and that side saying it the other way? I mean, I think I've shared Joey. You're getting called out, Dan.
Yeah.
Joey's got you. So I think I told you the story about how 10 years ago I used to be on the news all the time. I was local TV, like regular traditional news. And the CBS affiliate had just purchased a local independent channel. So locally it's Channel 5 is the CBS. And Channel 3 is just sort of the independent channel. And so it was the same reporter, same camera person, and they had asked me to talk to one of my clients and see if they'd be willing to go on the news about retirees that are experiencing a lot of revolving credit card debt. Because traditionally, like the great generation, like what would be my grandparents, the World War II generation, they never really had credit card debt, but the phenomenon of revolving debt was growing. So I got one of my clients to be interviewed, and I just, if you're looking at just the facts, then that's not what happened. And how much the media manipulates the story and how they formulate and share the story. And this was just sort of that human interest, like as the credits were rolling at the end of the broadcast. This isn't like elections or major policy or anything to do with major corporations or that stuff. This was a feel-good story about a lady who'd gotten into credit card debt and how it was impacting her retirement. The one channel, the one that had been the independent and was still, I guess, trying to be the independent channel. Her interview, which was the same interview, just how they edited it. Like hers was all about like, well, here's her hope. She's going to get out of debt because she's doing this program, and she's got this money coming in from whatever she was selling, and like she's going to be fine in a couple months. The CBS version was, I'm really not sure how I'm getting out of this. All is lost. I don't know if I can afford my bills. I'm going to go bankrupt. Like all this doom and gloom was like, this is the same damn story. And they're just spinning it two different ways. And so if they can do that about something as innocent and meaningless as one person's journey with revolving debt, what would they do as it impacts an election, or what would they do as it impacts public policy, or to promote or deflate anything? Like I think it's, people have to look at it with a discerning eye and use some critical thinking.
Oh, totally. I mean, to your point about, in our parents' era of who those broadcasters and newscasters were, they were classically trained. They'd gone to university to study broadcasting, and nobody could broadcast unless they had all those credentials. So they must be trusted. And we had the same thing with the BBC in England. And it's like, and that guy Chase was saying that Walter Cronkite was a CIA operative. Like that's what they did. That whole part of Project Mockingbird has been going on forever, even when our parents were young. So to think that,
newspapers they were in the 20s, he said. Right?
So, absolutely, it's been going on as from the end of time. So I mean, beginning of time. Sorry. So it's and that's the thing that people just aren't aware of. It's just like, no, I saw it on the news, or I read it here, or it was on, and you just have to realize that every single thing you're hearing is not necessarily true. And that was one of the things he said is, whatever you hear, you just got to sit there and say to yourself, maybe, because there is nothing that's true. I mean, the only thing that's true is what you physically are involved in yourself, and it might be that what you're doing isn't true. You think it's true. Like you think the person you're working for is legit. But it could also be a smaller part of an operation, and your boss doesn't even know that it's part of that. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But what are you doing day by day? You know that you're sleeping next to your partner, and you're getting up in the morning and brushing your teeth, and you're eating food and feeding your pets and getting in your car and driving. Those things are true. You know that. And what you experience as those things are happening are also true. But your view on it isn't necessarily true. It's just a story you're creating about what's happening. And so when you start, breaking it all down like that and going to a quantum level, it's like, then what the fuck is true? I mean, I'm at the point now where I'm like, anything can be true. I really think that, so...
even that podcast and right, like everyone just is paranoid about. I mean, I don't know if paranoid is the right word, but like it's not unfair to think that. I mean, the guy worked as a military operative. I don't know what the word is, like for intelligence and so forth. So like, is he? Who knows? I mean, I like
Or
his
how's he
stuff.
have to say all of that stuff? That's the other thing, he's and that's what we've always been saying, is that when somebody gets big and popular, they're going to get the tap on the shoulder. And it's like, he is that. He's got millions of followers and he was in that industry. So that was totally going through my mind while I was watching it, Dan, was, okay, and who's to say that what you're feeding us with isn't a load of bullshit too? you just don't know.
You just look down into the right. You're thinking about something from your.
Oh, I had a problem with what he was saying with that. I did, because I've studied all that shit too. And it's interesting. And so I think, well, actually what he was saying was that there was only two that he was like, yeah, I can say that those things are right. And it's not, you have to calibrate every person, because everybody's brain is wired differently. When some people are creative, I know I look up when I'm thinking about something, when I'm creating something, and I look down when I'm feeling something. But that's me. Some people, people don't process information the same. Some people are visual. That's why I look up, because I'm visual. When people feel things and they're kinesthetic, they tend to sort of pull in and feel things downwards. People are auditory digital, so they have to tell a story. I think that's what you are, is where, you hear something and it has to make sense. And so you kind of like run the story through your head.
Yeah, and people say things like, I hear you, or they'll say, if they're visual, they'll say, I see what you're saying.
Right.
Or if they're more kinesthetic, they'll say, like, I feel you. Even the word can match like how they intake information.
And it's different for everyone. So, if you know what you're doing, your job is to actually look at the person in front of you and ask them all of these questions, whether they're retrieving memories, whether they're constructing memories, whether they're feeling things, whether they've been there before, whether they're listening to a voice or hearing something. And you ask the questions to calibrate that person and see what they do and how they process information. And you do that by talking to them for 10 minutes and asking these. And once you know where they're doing things, then you can map them. So for you, a lie might be looking up and right, but for me, a lie might be looking left and down. Neither is wrong. It's just how we individually process. You have to calibrate people. So I know that much. So it was just interesting what he was saying on all of that.
Sure. Yep. It was an interesting discussion. And I do think that sort of thing is, I think the whole idea of like people just questioning things is a good practice in general.
Totally.
I guess I'm on the show by myself now. Bye, Kirsty. Yeah. So those of you who are out there, jump in with a comment and help me out here, right? You're gonna come back to the stage?
I'm trying. It's disappeared there. Sorry about that.
You just wanted to sit over there, huh? I feel like Hollywood.
You want to swap me over? Sorry about that. I literally just touched my keyboard and it just took me out. So
and I'm back.
your OCD is back.
I'm like a creature of habit. I like things where they go. You know this. How I ended up putting cinnamon on my ground beef last night.
That's hilarious.
Somehow the cinnamon got put where the taco seasoning normally is, and I didn't. And Jillian was over earlier today. She goes, "You didn't look at it, Dad." I'm like, "No, because it's where it goes." I just got in the moment, Well, somehow, some way, the stuff didn't get put back, and so we had cinnamon flavored taco meat last night.
But you ate it. I bet you didn't complain at yourself, did you?
I didn't want to go back to the store. I was hungry. I'm ready to we're in it now. So we had churro tacos last night. So I like things where they go. This is a happy place for me. So
no comment. I refrain from commenting.
There you go. You'd rather search the fruited plain to find wherever the latest, like where I know I put that ketchup somewhere. It would be right here if you know where it goes.
Yeah,
do
where I expected it to. I can actually move my eyes to see. Oh, yeah, it's just there.
Right. Well, some people don't want to.
I know it's going to be in the fridge somewhere. So,
have you ever seen The Adjustment Bureau? That movie, The Adjustment Bureau?
I've heard of it. I don't think I've seen it.
It's got Matt Damon. It's actually a really good movie. I just saw it the other night. It's got Matt Damon in it. It's about fate and all this kind of stuff. But there's these people that go in and move shit around. I'm like, I knew it. They kind of can like freeze time and they walk in and they're like, oh, you know.
Just to mess with you.
What's that?
Just to mess with you.
That's my guess. I can't explain it any other way. It couldn't be that I was wrong about where something got put or something. It must be the Adjustment Bureau behind the scenes.
Or elves and pixies.
Yeah, there was a Twilight Zone episode about that, if I'm not mistaken, too. Like where, you know, it's sort of these little gremlins or whatever were like just a few minutes out in front of time, and they were like building everything. So it was like, yes. And they forgot to put like a watch where it was supposed to be.
The time to worry is when you live on your own. If you live with other people, that's fine. But if you're living on your own and shit starts going missing, then you can start worrying. That happened to me at one point.
Rollo took it.
Well, that's just it. I just thought I was going nuts because I was like, I know it's only me here. So it's either me being senile and not knowing what I'm doing, or there's something else at play here. Like it was very strange.
So that's another ignorance is bliss. You might just be senile and you don't even know what day it is.
This is actually to your point. I mean, medical stuff. I mean, I tend to err on the side of that. Like I've got friends that the second, you know, anything happens, I got an extra itch or, you know, something hurts, or they straight to the doctors. They want every friggin' test known to man. They want every examination known. And I haven't been to the doctors in probably 15 years. I just refuse to go. Like, I just don't want to know. It's like if I feel off, I'll figure it out for myself. I don't want to know stuff because then I think a lot of what really stresses people out is once they know there's something and they don't have an idea of how to get rid of it or what to do about it, or maybe they can't afford to do anything about it. Well, now they're just sitting stressing. And then the stress is what's making it worse. And then they start deteriorating, right? So that's a really big one, the whole ignorance is bliss thing. And then, there's people that ignore here's the thing. You ignore the fact that you have a pain or something's going on. I don't think we should ignore it because I do believe that anything that manifests itself externally is because something is off balance internally. So I think if you notice something, you do have to go in and deep dive and do the work and look at yourself and figure out, what's out of line, what am I not agreeing with, what am I supposed to be doing that I'm not, what am I ignoring? I think you have to look into that. But the other extreme of that is just instantly going to the doctors and having every test and all this stuff, because if you look, you'll find. I mean, that's just how life goes, right? Whatever you're looking for, you will find if you look hard enough. So it's whether you allow things to come to the surface and be an issue and dominate your whole life, or whether you just kind of like bounce around floating on the surface and just let things go and take their own form.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it really kind of depends on the medical situation, though, right? Like if you break your bone, obviously you need to go get that tended to.
Sure.
But if you're just like, I got a little sniffle, maybe just, eat some chicken noodle soup, go sit outside and get some fresh air, give it a day or two. You don't need to run down and get on, the Z pack right away. You might be able to weather the storm, like a day or two of a sniffle. But your body, like teach their own, right? So,
but I think that to this whole point is that worrying is going to be the biggest issue with anything, because worrying is over processing, overthinking. And where do you do all of that? In your stomach. That's your gut, right? It's processing your food, your brain and your gut are connected. You're overthinking, it's going to affect that. And so then that's going to start creating fluctuations with your hormones, with how your food's digested, with how nutrients are passed around your body, how you're energized, it's going to affect everything. That's the problem with worrying. That's why people get stomach cancer and stuff like that, because it's just when you're anxious and nervous, you stop moving, you stop processing. And so then food is held longer in your body than it should. It becomes toxic. It causes all sorts of problems. So, I mean, you can go down that whole rabbit hole. But
yeah, and that's part of what the whole idea of a 72-hour water fast is that we were talking about last week or the week before. Is to just give your body a chance to go work through. Were we talking about on here? And I know I had this conversation recently. I just don't remember. I thought it was on here, but we were talking about a 72-hour water fast and how eating is like once you eat something, your body stops everything else
right,
to go digest the food and process the food, right?
right.
And so if you give your body a chance to not have to attend to that function, then it will go over to fix other things. It'll work on your lymphatic system. It'll work on it'll eat the bad cells. The good cells will eat the bad cells and eat like cancer cells and that kind of stuff. So, so it's, we did it that one time. We keep talking about it. I would love to do it again. Let me rephrase that. I would love to be on the other side of doing it again because it's like it's not the funnest thing to go through, but I do think there's a ton of benefit from it, and I, for one, think that's a good best practice to have your body. I mean, our bodies know how to heal themselves, right? And if you look at all the stuff that they do now, like they used to put people out in the sunshine so that they could get vitamin D and fresh air at like a hospital, and they would use like linen sheets, and they were all these kinds of things that they've gotten rid of, and they've replaced it with pills and medication. So
right, yeah, we're just not focused on that kind of stuff anymore. And the other thing too is that it's just the whole big pharma thing that's got involved with everything. It's just there's a pill for this, there's a medicine for that. Like just take this, take that, and then you're taking another pill to get over the side effects of the one that you just took and so on. And it's like, oh my God, like we're all rattling, with medicine.
Yeah.
So
it's like that thing when the knee bone's connected to the leg bone and all that stuff. It's like, well, if you take this medicine for your, it's like you see these disclaimers on these pharmaceutical advertisements. You're like, I have itchy skin. Like, well, if you take this drug, then you may go blind, or it may result in death. Or like, you know what? I'll just deal with some itching. I don't need to die. Yeah.
Robert, we're getting older now. Drinking on the weekends is not helping our problem. So we need to start drinking more during the week as well.
Speak for yourself, my friend.
I've actually really not been hardly drinking. I had a margarita I was given tonight, but other than that, I really have not been drinking barely at all for the last month. And I don't know if I feel better or not.
I wonder what the common denominator there is. So.
I'm trying. Right. But
you've been gone a month and away from me, and then what else? Oh yeah, I haven't been drinking in a month. Oh. Well, I haven't been drinking anymore either. Or any less.
I don't know. My body doesn't like it. It's like it's not me. I enjoy.
Well, drinking. If it's like $40 for a bottle, just a little bottle of wine, I can see why you'd refrain.
It's so expensive to drink here. Like it's ridiculous. Even just going to the cheapest supermarket discount place, and then going out. I can't. Like I went. It's just insane how expensive. Like it's like at least double everything you're paying over there. Sometimes 3 or 4 times more expensive. It's insane. Like Thomas bought a bottle of tequila to make the margaritas, and it was like $75 for a bottle.
A little bottle. It's not even like the handle.
No, it was a liter. Or what's the regular size? Like 770 mils.
750,
like
I think. Yep.
Yeah. So this was a bit bigger. It's a bit bigger than a regular size bottle. It wasn't the smallest one, but it wasn't like the big jug with the friggin' handle on it like you guys have.
Yeah.
But yeah, just nuts, just absolutely nuts. Like I bought 3 coffees at a farmer's market from a fucking food truck, and it was $20 for 3 little coffees. Like it's just nuts. I was like, how people afford to, and that's pretty much why no one goes out anymore. Everyone's just eating and drinking at home and having people over because it's so stupidly expensive everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. And if you're a restaurateur trying to manage all of the expenses and like, you just don't know on any given day or week because it is it's not normal fluctuations. At least, I mean, what they report and what you live on the boots on the ground are different. But what's up?
I said $14 for a bag of cheese, $35 for some ground beef. I mean, it's just insane here.
Yeah,
It's
and that is Canadian dollars, but the exchange rate it's still very high up there.
you guys
So
have higher wages than we do, so it's all relative. It really doesn't matter about the exchange at all. It's just in comparison to what, relativity.
we're saying the same thing. I'm saying I'm agreeing with you that relatively speaking, even with the exchange rate, it's more expensive there.
Yeah, it's just nuts. I feel bad for the kids. Like, I see why they don't go out to the bars and stuff, because you can't. 2 drinks is like $25.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the weed's cheaper up there, so that you at least have something.
It's more available. I just don't know if it's any cheaper.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's.
I wouldn't know about that. Nancy Reagan told me that was evil and it was a gateway drug that will lead to all the other bad things. So
Here we are.
Yeah. Yeah. So any other ignorance is bliss revelations that you have? I think parasites would be one.
How
many parasites you have floating around and then you go do a parasite cleanse and you're like, what the hell?
I really want to do one. It's just obviously it's a phase that everyone's got caught up in, but it does make a lot of sense if you go down that rabbit hole. And it's just like, holy shit. I think I said this last week, there's a Facebook group I'm in. It's all about parasite cleanses, but people just post pictures of their shit. You're just kind of like, it's just like, I've got my feed, like family, kids, whatever. Oh, somebody's diarrhea. It's like, oh God, it just like comes up on my feed.
Yeah, and what's up with that? Like all these, like now they've got parasites in our veggies.
And it's just like, oh, like I'm like, okay, like it needs a warning. It's so bad. But
I'm gonna stay. Don't invite me to that group. I don't want to be in it. I'll stay ignorant.
If you want to know what to do and everything, it's kind of interesting. But I think the thing would be to just do it. And I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look in the toilet. But it's like, how else will I know if it worked? I guess I'd feel better. People would say you feel better at your
ignorance is bliss. Until it isn't. Right? So, it was like in the movie The Matrix, right? I mean, that's literally that whole theme is in the movie The Matrix. Right. The one guy had taken the red pill. He was out in the real world. And then he went to the machines and said, put me back in because ignorance is bliss. Like he just couldn't take the real world. So,
yeah. I kind of feel like that too. I mean, I've just got to the point now where it's like a complete apathy. I literally don't. It's horrible. I do have to like really fight with myself because it's hard to not be so apathetic that you don't care about anything anymore. I can see why people kind of lose it and become so depressed. It's like, what's the point? Because everything is just fake and everything is just bad. Yeah. And what the hell are we living in?
I think we could go to that podcast again. And one of the things he said was unplug from your social media. Don't be on your phone a lot. Dan, I know you've done that. Like you've either completely eliminated or come back or pulled back quite a bit on your social media, and you're outside walking and doing more, swimming and stuff like that. Like I would bet, and I think I kind of know, but I'd bet that you probably don't feel the same like anxiety or I don't know what the right word is, but like that tension or whatever that word would be of like when you're doom scrolling all day every day, then you're in the whole world of chaos. It's like you said in that podcast, he's like people are getting all wound up and yelling about like, well, this injustice in Ukraine. Like, well, yeah, there was a murder 3 blocks away from your house though. Like, it's like you're so like concerned about shit that you would never would have known anything about even 50 years ago,
Right. Well,
so taking a step back from all that is probably not a bad idea for just mental health and just peace of mind and all that stuff, because you're not consuming all that like wild and crazy information,
Well, and also it's the fact that you don't have any control over it. So you can hear all this stuff and you can be absolutely horrified by it all and be like, oh my God, this is so terrible. It's like, but then you're left with so what are we going to do? How are we going to do it? And then you realize you have no control. There's nothing that you can do about it. So then you sit there going, well, there's nothing I can do. This is horrible. I'm aware that it exists. And now what? And it's like the answer's the same. Whether you don't know anything or whether you do know anything, is when you let go of everything and just focus on what's in the now. Focus on what you see immediately in front of you, whether it's your hand, whether it's your pet, whether it's your partner, your kids, like whatever it is. focus on that, because that you can have some control over. You can, you do know that it's real. You can reach out and you can touch it. And it kind of grounds you, right? Brings you back down to earth, because reading all this stuff about everything else. I mean, I do it for entertainment and I do it for awareness, to sort of figure out what everybody's going on about. But then I just sort of see a lot of my close friends who I think are really, intellectual or intelligent, and I see them posting shit. I'm like, what are you doing? I thought you were better than this. Like, can you not use your discernment and realize that, this is just swaying you as well? And now and it doesn't matter what side you're on or what you're, protesting about. It's just like, it's not real. Like, it's literally just here to keep you going. And it just shocks and bothers me that people that I thought were really kind of open-minded and aware and intelligent are just still falling for all of these kind of narratives that are going on. And it's like, oh, but yeah, it's just, and then to me that gets me down, because I'm like, there's only, I could probably count on one or two hands the amount of people I feel that I know that actually kind of get it and see it and are in the same place, and so they don't think I'm weird when I talk about it.
Yep. I mean, I'm to your point, and Dan saying that it's the greatest thing to get away from all the social media and all that stuff, and that the algorithms really are creating our experience. And they know it all, and they know, like, it will put you with your tribe. So if you love this political figure and hate that one, they'll get all that verbiage going for you. If you love this artist or this message or whatever it is, they'll align you with that to validate you, so that you have that, like, sense of tribe, and then they vilify the people that are questioning that thinking. So,
right.
But it definitely is an addiction, because it's a dopamine hit, right? Everyone gets the dopamine hit, whether it's just like, hey, whatever it may be, like it's a dopamine hit.
Yeah. And I mean, as long as you, I can't remember what I was going to say. Sorry, my mind went blank then. I'll come back to it.
Yeah. It's like, look at Taylor Swift. Like, she's got how can she be that popular? She's not that good.
Well, and that's the thing.
It's an algorithm.
It is. And I actually feel, again, it just feels depressing, and it's really sad, because you sort of think all these people, like, if you're an ant, if you're a worker bee, you're just going to go in and work in all the systems, uphold all the systems, and work that way. And then if you're not a worker bee, if you're someone who's more creative and you think outside the box, and you philosophize and all of those things, then they got to find something for you to do. And so you're either going to go into the entertainment or the sports industry, or you're going to worship the entertainment or the sports industry, because it's not like the others. And it's just all controlled. And that's what's so sad, really, is that, they've got to have a way to control those people, because they're free thinkers. But you get too popular, and you get too good, and you get too wealthy, and we're too well known, and it's that tap on the shoulder, and you're going to do what we tell you to do, so we can control you, because you're
yeah, for sure. That's why, like, being wealthy, I would be nobody would know I was wealthy. I mean, my close circle would, like, the people I actually am friends with and close family, like the people I choose would know, but I wouldn't just tell anyone. That'd be my business, because I wouldn't want to be sucked into all the bullshit, So.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, no, I agree, Dan. Same thing. See, and then I'm like, and then you're like, what's the point? Why even try? Why even bother? And it just depends. Like, I'll get up one morning and go, right, that's it. Okay, just want to inspire people. I want to help people realize. I want to help people, wake up and think for themselves and be happy and find their peace and all the rest of it. And then on the other end of that is like, I just don't even care anymore. I'm not responsible for anybody else. They're all going to do their own thing anyway. Why do I even care? I just got to look out for me. It's just, you just go back and forth. It's exhausting.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's our own journey ultimately, right? We come into the world alone, and we go out alone. So relationships and interactions are vital, I think. I love relationships and friendships and all that stuff. It's really what makes me tick and what drives me in a lot of ways. But that the work, it's like the idea that someone's like, well, it's your fault. You made me angry because you said that. that's giving your power away. And who really made you angry? It's your trigger. That's your work. And so I can say stuff that's certainly insulting and intending to be, but your reaction to it is ultimately up to you, you know?
Yeah. And that's the thing that most people just don't get. So, which is why you have all these people raging in the streets right now, getting mad because they have a cause. And I think that's interest is again to that podcast like, you know, yes, your belief system is important, but it's about changing the context. When the context is there, all of a sudden it makes it okay and validated to go around hating people and wanting people dead and stuff like that. And it's just interesting. Like we've always said that, you know, you got the party of love and light and everybody's free to do what they want as long as it's what I want you to do. When it's not, I'm going to have a fucking tantrum and kill you.
Both sides do it. All sides do it. It's the weirdest thing. It's like what's good for me is good for thee, or whatever that saying is. But it's also like, you know, I'm fighting for freedom, but then you don't have the freedom to go vote how you want. You know what I mean? It's like people are just, they get into a whatever camp it may be, whether it's a cult, whether it's maybe it's your favorite band, and my favorite band's better than your favorite band, or my favorite baseball team, or whatever dumbass thing it is that we give our energy to. Like, if you're not willing to let other people just kind of do them, as long as they're not hurting you, what difference does it make? You know, right. Like just out of sight, out of mind. I don't give a lot of energy to that stuff usually. Just teach their own. But it was why I have such a beef with the HOA. You guys fuck off. They don't leave me alone.
That is a case worth taking up.
Oh, man. Yeah. That's another whole story. Yeah, at the end of it, like, people get paid to be... What time?
It comes up every episode, every podcast.
Almost, yeah.
The HOA.
We should get the president of the HOA here on and just talk to him about their cuck behavior.
Let's interview them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, cool. Right, good stuff. I mean, it's a journey. It's all a journey, right? So
it is. Yeah,
don't take life too seriously. None of us get out of here alive. That is a great partying comment. And I think that's really the sizzle to the steak, because I don't think we incarnated here and that we came here with this isn't getting religious. It's just I don't think we're here to go grind for 80 hours a week and, you know, sell out to your employer and, you know, we're here for our own journey, our own life lesson, and whatever experiences you can have to learn from and become constantly be evolving and being better. So that's, that pivot happened for me, you know, when I was younger. It was all about like, I got to have the car and the house and the status and all this. I was really driven by money and status and all that stuff. Now that stuff, I'm not dismissing any of that. I think that's cool, but it's not money and all that stuff isn't for status. It would be more for just peace and for and to be able to spend more time with the people I care about spending time with, and to be able to continue to grow in the way I would want to grow, whether that be travel or whether that be experiences that I can go share with other people or however that works. So that's kind of that's my pivot from young ambition to older ambition. Midlife ambition is more just about experiences and people and the journey, right? So
no, I'm with you. Same.
Anyway, so I'm gonna love and light, right? So what is the yeah, right? Cool. Well, I can see by the old clock on the wall we're a little after 7 here, and I need to go figure out dinner. So don't know. I don't know that it's Oscars this week. It might have to be. We got some chicken and some potatoes in the other room. So I'll go that route.
Enjoy.
We'll do another great episode of Meat, Sweats, and Menopause. Thank you, everyone, for joining. And look forward to any new ideas or anyone that wants to jump on again, as we always say. If you don't mind, if you could hit the like button if you haven't already, and then share this, it would be appreciated. And we'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. So have an excellent week, and we'll see you next time. Be well.
Indeed. Thanks so much, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.